Hello, Scouts. Who likes money? Who wants to make more money? And who wants to buy stuff with money? See, that's the thing about it. Money is found very valuable to you guys and me. And everybody, really, almost. Money has a big impact on how we do things here in the United States and across the world. It has a big impact on what goes on in the Scouts and everything, from being able to fund your activities, being able to keep the organization going, and just being able to do fun things to keep everybody involved. With money, what you're doing is you're trading it in exchange for goods or services. When you get these, you benefit in exchange for trading your money so that the company behind the goods or services is able to fund those and they make money from that. Now when it comes to money, it has different functions throughout the country in the way of that it is found to be more valuable in certain places rather than others. Like in some locations, money can get you more of one product than it can in another area. Sometimes the same item costs more in one place than it does the other. So that's the thing about it. It's a very unique thing, and it's something that we can all learn a little bit about. And one of the biggest things to know about is minimum wage. Yes, you have a question?
What is minimum wage?
Minimum wage is the least amount that a company can pay a worker per hour. It is very different in different parts of the country. In some places, like big towns in California, a lot of the places now, they can pay you only a minimum of $15 per hour. And then in like a smaller town, let's take a small town of a couple hundred people in Michigan, they may not have to have a $15 minimum wage. They may have something still at perhaps even the national level of $7.25 an hour. That would be because dollars have more value in that spot than they do the others. And that can be because of population and the cost of living. And the cost of living is, you look at things like how much it costs for, your house payments or rent every month, how much the groceries cost, and other things like your bills. They are more inflated in other spots than others. Take for instance, as you know in the Scouts, Girl Scout cookies are very, very looked highly upon customers. And a Girl Scout cookie, they already go for a little bit of money because they're found valuable and people buy them for higher prices, but their price may fluctuate in said small Michigan town versus that of Los Angeles, California. For instance, I will give you a $1 bill because you are from the small Michigan town. I will give you a $5 bill because you're from, let's say, Los Angeles. Now this cookie, it would be in the small town of Michigan. If I were to sell individual cookies, I may sell this to you for $1. But if I was in Los Angeles where you were, I may sell this same one cookie for $5. Yes, you have a question?
What makes the cookie more expensive in one place than another?
That kind of connects back to the cost of living situation where, like you look at like grocery expenses, like it may cost more to buy, a box of cookies in California because they've got a higher population. People earn more per hour now with the minimum wage laws versus that of Michigan, where since the money and minimum wage is lesser in that area and it's less populated, things just happen to be less expensive. Now, as we look into that, we can see that this has been a situation throughout the nation, and not just for those in business and everything, but it impacts the scouts as well, because we want the value of the dollar to be as much as it can be. And over time, the value of the dollar everywhere has went down. Things are more expensive than they used to be, but that is part of inflation, which, you know, the value of the dollar is going down because prices of goods are going up. That's like if a candy bar used to cost a quarter, let's say 40 years ago, and we look now and it may be $2 a candy bar, let's say in a smaller town, versus that candy bar being, you know, $5 or more in a large town like I mentioned in Los Angeles. That's how the inflation works with these prices, and it shows, you know, how money can be perceived and used in different areas. We'll look at also what happens with how the scouts are directly impacted, though. As you know, activities need to be funded, and we do fundraisers such as selling items such as the Girl Scout cookies, and that allows us to bring in money, and connecting that to things like wages and cost of living in different areas. What happens is when we sell the products, that's why, like with the example of the box of cookies, it may cost more in one area because we need to raise more money in a place like Los Angeles than we would the small Michigan town, due to, you know, those cost of living statistics. So selling, let's say, a box for an example, we'll just go with the estimate of $30 in California versus $20 in Michigan for the same box, same size, same contents, everything. That's because we need to adjust our own prices with business to fund, you know, different scouts groups in different locations where you know, the funding for activities will be more in some places than others, and our, you know, products for fundraising will reflect on that. It's very much something that has been something we looked at with the nation, and of course, as I mentioned, we can put into our own scout group and just see how it impacts us as much as it can really impact everybody. Everybody feels it in different ways, and we need to look at what works for each area, what we can do to ensure the health of the economy, and for our own groups as well. So I hope that you've been able to learn a lot from this, and we can look at what we can do in our area and see what others are doing in their areas, and find out about more about minimum wage impacts and how to keep up with cost of living in different areas. Thank you.